Bass releases a stark budget proposal after delivering her State of the City address.
The proposal outlining layoffs and other drastic cuts to offset a nearly $1 billion budget deficit. Eyewitness News reporter Josh Haskell live in downtown LA with the details. Josh.
And there is a long list of challenges facing Los Angeles, recovering from the fires, a massive budget deficit, preparing the city to host the World Cup and the Olympics, to name a few. Today, Mayor Bass laid out a plan to balance the budget, which includes letting go of 1,647 city workers.
Let's not skip past that really quickly. $1 billion budget deficit. I have been talking about this. I've been screaming about it on the rooftop. Make sure y'all tune into the Millionaire Morning Show so you can get more insight into what's going on. Over $1 billion. Now, of course, they're going to look for something to blame it on. Oh, my God, it's the fires, it's this is that. Bullshit. They getting help from the federal government. That's why her and Gavin Newsom was begging Trump to help them in the first place. The second thing is the insurance companies are largely on the hook. The third thing is, and this is one of the reasons that I keep telling y'all, when y'all move over to California, when you move over to Florida, you have to be careful because the insurance companies are pulling out. So instead of them addressing the inherent issues that's causing the insurance companies to pull out, for example, over in California, the forest fires and the things like that is causing massive damage. And I warned people that this was coming over a year ago, 2 years ago, that insurance companies like State Farm and all of that were pulling out. And so what California did was they decided to create their own insurance program, which basically instilled confidence in most consumers to still stay in California, because most people wouldn't do it if they couldn't insure their property. As a matter of fact, most mortgage companies wouldn't even issue you a mortgage if you couldn't insure your property in the first place, because they got to protect their investment. So California is extremely mismanaged. They spent over 29, almost $30 billion that we know of. We don't know where the money is gone to eradicate homelessness, but it's worse than ever. They're going to sell you on an idea that no, the situation is better. And here's what's worse. They're hosting, I believe, the Olympics and the World Cup coming up. So when you look at your leaders, look at them, hold them accountable, ask them why they continue to spend money to support illegal migrants coming into the country, coming into their cities, becoming sanctuary cities, and also ask them why they won't work with the federal government to fix their cities, to eradicate homelessness, to eradicate all these illegal migrants coming over here taking up jobs, and why they are now in the point to where they're probably going to be raising property taxes, which we know that New York and Los Angeles have the highest property taxes. They are the ones that are the highest tax, the highest wage taxes in the country. And they're going to be raising taxes while at the same time eliminating budgets or eliminating workers in order to balance the budget. Now, when Trump says, hey, we need to proactively balance the budget, we need to have the Department of Government Efficiency come in and look at it, you know what all the Democrats said? Oh, wait a minute. These are people's jobs. These are people's livelihoods. I want to see y'all screaming at the top of the mountain to make sure that y'all preserve jobs over here in Los Angeles, and because California got to eat a massive budget deficit.
A critical moment for Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass as she leads the city through the most destructive fire LA has ever experienced, the Palisades fire.
We need a citywide turnaround, and we need a fundamental overhaul of city government to deliver the clean, safe, and orderly neighborhoods that Angelenos deserve.
I wonder if any of the mayor or any of her staff, or if it's anybody in there that's going to be actually taking pay cuts too. We'll get there.
But prior to the fire, the city was in serious financial trouble, and we've now learned a nearly $1 billion budget deficit could result in as many as 1,600 city employees losing their jobs.
They'll frame this and say, hey, no, it's because of the fires. I'm going to tell you the truth and tell you that this budget deficit was in effect, and they was trying to figure out what to do with it and how many people they was going to lay off way before these fires started when Trump got into office. They've been trying to figure out how they're going to balance this $1 billion plus budget deficit, but they're looking to blame it on something so that they don't have to take accountability for running the city into the ground.
I want to be straight with you. My proposed budget, unfortunately, includes layoffs, which is a decision of absolute last resort.
In addition to the layoffs, Bass has proposed eliminating 1,074 vacant positions, combining city departments, delaying capital projects, and lowering funding in the mayor's office. Not impacted by the proposed layoffs, the Los Angeles Fire Department and sworn officers in the Los Angeles Police Department.
But it doesn't mean that they're actually filling the positions that they need to fill. So what does that mean, Anton? That means that natural attrition has people leaving the department. Some people retired, some people quit, some people got fired. A lot of people moved over into different positions. People moved out of the state, so on and so forth. So California, well, let's be specific. Los Angeles is probably down somewhere close to nearly or above 2,000 police officers, similar to what is happening over in Chicago. But guess what? They're going to say, you know what? We're going to eliminate the vacant positions. That means that they're not going to have the police response. They're not going to actually fill the positions that they need to run the city successfully. So they're going to frame it like, you know what? We're going to just lay this many people off, but you need to also add into that they're not going to fill the positions to make sure that they keep the city safe in the first place. Sanitation, police officers, public transportation, all of these pillars to ensure that the city is running successfully. And guess what? Next year, they still got to deal with the same thing over and over and over. This ain't over. This is just for this fiscal year. It's coming up again.
In the 2025-2026 proposed budget, the LAFD will see an increase of 12.7%, which will fund 227 new positions. The budget deficit is fueled by lower than anticipated revenue from taxes, new labor contracts with police, civic workers, and firefighters, and liability payouts, which could exceed $300 million. David Green is president of the union that represents 10,000 city workers.
What does less tax revenue mean? That means that A, people are leaving the city, and B, businesses are walking away because it's no longer conducive for them to do business over in Los Angeles and California, which then lowers tax revenue, which when you don't have industries that continue to support and pour into your coffers, that means that you have less jobs, less revenue, less people actually paying into the city's coffers, less public safety, less everything. Now you're starting to see the ramifications of their actions.
And one layoff for our LA city workers is one too many. These are folks that are serving the public every single day. It doesn't matter if they're trimming trees or fixing sidewalks or in sanitation, taking up people's trash. It's really important that we hold on to every single one of these jobs.
Bass highlighted how homelessness and crime are headed in the right direction.
Look at Los Angeles. If anybody has ever been to Los Angeles, if anybody has ever been over to Skid Row, if anybody has ever went over and seen what was happening over there, you would absolutely be disgusted. I don't even know how they're going to be able to hold the Olympics with the way that they run in that city.
Into the latest data, but renewed her call for the state to triple the TV and film tax credit in order to bring Hollywood back. As far as hosting the World Cup and the 2028 Olympics, Bass said Angelenos must come together.
This is about all of us. It's about choosing to believe in each other again and the future of the city that we love.
Nobody want to hear that, bro. I'm going to just be honest with you. Nobody wants to hear, hey, just believe in it, just hope. We need real solutions, real fiscal responsibility, real dedication to making sure that people actually incentivize businesses to come back, real policy, real changes, real public safety, real a lot of things. But these blue cities, you are going to start to see them crumble one by one by one. Chicago is crumbling. Los Angeles is crumbling. New York has a huge cushion, a massive cushion, because they got so many people and so many millionaires live there. And it's also the financial capital of the world. So New York is going to move a little bit differently. And they also got a mayor that's willing to work with the Trump administration. But let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Also, Teach Hanley, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. Peace.